Mormon Wives star Jessi Ngatikaura reveals in an exclusive interview how her hair care line was inspired by the hairstyles of her ex and Harry. The star of Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, Jessi Ngatikaura, is talking candidly about the strange origin of the name of her hair brand, Jay-Z Styles, which is a combination about the surnames of Harry Styles and Ngatikaura. In an exclusive interview with People on Saturday, September 27th, at the destination resort Lady World in Miramar Beach, 33-year-old Ngatikaura says that she started her business, which makes hot tools, extensions, and hair care products, while she was married to her ex-husband. She stated at the event, which gave visitors a one-of-a-kind opportunity to interact with their favorite artists, singers, and personalities. At first, it was named for me and my ex-husband since his name was Zach and I'm Jessi. I started Jay-Z when I was married to him, so when we were divorced, I thought, this is terrible. So then I called my son Jagger Zane, so now it's named after him. Thus, we just altered the origin myth. And then Styles came from Harry Styles, since I was like 21 when I began the firm, and I was enamored with him, she adds. Since 2020, Ngatikaura has been wed to Jordan Ngatikaura, her current spouse. On April 20th, 2020, the couple welcomed son Jagger Zane, their first child together. Jovi, Jessi and Jordan's youngest child, was born on January 13th, 2023. They'd picked the names because she loved the theme of classic rock and roll, Bon Jovi, Mick Jagger. She later clarified in a 2024 TikTok video. They seem to work pretty well together, in my opinion. Ngatikaura and her fellow Mom Talk cast members Taylor Frankie Paul, Maci Neely, Jen Affleck, Michaela Matthews, Miranda McWhorter, Layla Taylor, and Whitney Levitt are followed as they live their lives. Furthermore, Ngatikaura was rocking the look long before the episode premiered, despite the fact that she has recently gained notoriety for her hair. She even trademarked the term Utah curls. According to her, I've been the Utah curl queen, just not publicly. I have 9 years of experience. When the show debuted, Ngatikaura continues, everything was insane and everything just popped off. The Utah hair, the extensions. I wasn't anticipating that because it wasn't part of the storyline, just something people picked up on. But I do it all the time and it's my typical vibe. Ngatikaura is the owner of a hair salon and hair school in Utah in addition to her Jay-Z Styles business. She also regularly goes to events to instruct stylists on how to utilize her products. Members of her Jay-Z crew do all the interview hair for Secret Lives, for the confessionals, she told People, adding that she frequently handles her co-star's hair. When Jessi Ngatikaura reflects on the story behind her hair care empire, it is impossible to separate the brand from the life she has lived. Jay-Z Styles is not just a company name stamped on hot tools, hair extensions, and a bustling salon in Utah. It is a culmination of a deeply personal journey, one marked by marriage and divorce, reinvention and rediscovery, devotion to family, and a teenage pop culture crush that became the unlikely seed of an empire. Her life story is etched into every strand of hair she styles and every curling iron her company sells. What makes Jessi's story compelling is not only her success, but how she has woven fragments of her private life into the DNA of her public brand. The initials Jay-Z were once tethered to a marriage that ended. They now stand for her son, Jagger Zane, whose very name was chosen in homage to the world of rock and roll. And the flourish of Styles, borrowed from none other than Harry Styles, a singer who once lived only in Jessi's dreams of pop star adoration, transforms a business into something larger than life. The hair care line is not simply a business venture. It is a personal mythology told in bottles, irons, and curls. In this way, Jessi's entrepreneurial path underscores profound truth about modern branding. The most successful ventures are often those that feel most intimate. In today's influencer economy, people are no longer just buying products. They are buying stories, personalities, and identities they can emotionally connect with. For Jessi, her story is the brand, and the brand, in turn, has become a reflection of her story. When Jay-Z Styles was first conceived, it was born out of the shared initials between Jessi and her then-husband, Zach. At first, the symmetry seemed natural, a family-run brand symbolizing a partnership both romantic and entrepreneurial. But divorce is a way of rupturing not just personal bonds, but the symbols attached to them. Jessi recalls feeling a pang of dread at the thought of continuing her business under a name that no longer reflected her reality. To sell hair care products emblazoned with Jay-Z, while she was no longer Mrs. E, felt, in her own words, terrible. Yet here lies one of the most fascinating aspects of her journey. Instead of abandoning the brand or starting over from scratch, Jessi chose reinvention. She transformed the meaning of Jay-Z from a symbol of a broken marriage into one of maternal pride. By naming her son Jagger Zane, she found new life in the initials and recast the brand as a tribute to family, resilience, and rock and roll cool. This act of repurposing is not just clever branding. It is a metaphor for Jessi's entire trajectory. Rather than letting personal setbacks define her, she has continually found ways to reframe her story. Her business is not just a source of income, but a vehicle through which she rewrites narratives of loss, growth, and triumph. And then, of course, there is Styles. The addition of Harry Styles to her brand name could have been frivolous. Instead, it turned into a clever stroke of cultural resonance. At 21, when Jessi launched the business, her admiration for Harry was not only the fangirl crush of a young woman, but also a reflection of her desire for artistry, boldness, and charisma. By incorporating Styles, she anchored her brand in pop culture, tying her personal story to a figure who embodied reinvention and self-expression. It gave her business a spark of familiarity and aspirational glamour. Before Secret Lives of Mormon Wives ever aired, Jessi was already known in her community as the Utah Curl Queen. She had been perfecting her signature style for nearly a decade, long before cameras or confessionals. Her ability to trademark the term Utah Curls was more than a savvy legal move. It was an assertion of cultural ownership. What is striking is how a regional hairstyle, once considered niche, has become her signature on the national stage. The Utah curl is no longer just a styling technique. It has become shorthand for a persona, polished yet playful, bold yet approachable, glamorous yet accessible. The style reflects not only a beauty trend, but also the values of community, one that prizes presentation, self-care, and aesthetic cohesion. For Jessi, leaning into this identity was both authentic and strategic. When Secret Lives aired, audiences were quick to notice her hair. Even though it was never meant to be a storyline, the fact that her look became a viral talking point reveals how branding often happens in unexpected ways. Sometimes, the most powerful branding moments emerge not from scripted narratives, but from organic impressions. Part of what gives Jessi's entrepreneurial journey its emotional weight is the way she integrates her family into her business identity. Unlike corporate brands that strive for sleek detachment, Jay-Z Styles thrives on its intimacy. Her children's names, her husband's support, her personal anecdotes, all become part of the story she sells to her audience. Her choice of children's names, Jagger and Jovi, is emblematic of this. Rather than choosing names at random, she curated them as part of a larger theme, drawing inspiration from rock icons like Mick Jagger and Bon Jovi. This not only reflects her personal tastes, but also aligns with the artistic, stylish, and rebellious energy she wants her brand to embody. It's storytelling through naming, and it resonates with audiences who see her as authentic and creative. Her son Jagger's connection to the brand is especially poignant. By reshaping the meaning of Jay-Z around him, Jessi made her business a living tribute to her family. It is a way of turning a potential wound, the loss of the original marital identity of the brand, into a source of pride and joy. Customers who buy her products are, in a sense, buying into the story of resilience and reinvention. Though Jessi had been working in hair care long, before Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, the show served as a catalyst that pushed her into national recognition. Reality TV has long been a launch pad for beauty entrepreneurs. From the Kardashians' global dominance to smaller, niche influencers who leverage their screen time into business empires. For Jessi, Secret Lives provided both visibility and validation. Her hair became a talking point. Her salon became an extension of her persona, and her product became part of the show's off-screen reality. Viewers who admired her look wanted to know how they could replicate it. Jay-Z Styles became not just a product line, but a gateway to emulating Jessi's image. The fascinating part here is how the show blurred the lines between entertainment and entrepreneurship. While Jessi was technically a cast member, she was also, in many ways, running a masterclass in brand integration. By doing her co-star's hair for confessionals and events, she ensured that her products were woven into the visual fabric of the show. This kind of brand synergy is both subtle and brilliant. It markets without feeling like an ad. At the heart of Jessi Ngatikaura's story is the art of myth-making. Great brands often succeed because they transcend product features and become vessels of meaning. Apple is not just about computers. It's about creativity and innovation. Nike is not just about shoes. It's about victory and resilience. Jay-Z Styles is not just about hair. It's about reinvention, identity, and self-expression. Jessi's personal story provides a myth. A young woman starts a brand out of love, faces heartbreak, reinvents the name through her son, and adds a flourish of pop star glamour. She embraces her regional style and turns it into a national trend. She balances motherhood, reality TV stardom, and entrepreneurship, weaving it all together into a narrative that is both aspirational and relatable. In many ways, Jessi's myth is a modern American dream. It is no longer about rags to riches or climbing the corporate ladder. It is about building an empire out of a fragment of personal life, about transforming heartbreak into branding, motherhood into identity, and fandom into inspiration. It is about creating a business not in spite of personal chaos, but because of it. The phrase Mormon wife might conjure traditional images of homemaking, church life, and family devotion. For decades, the archetype of a Mormon woman in American culture has been one of modesty, obedience, and domesticity. Yet Jessi's journey disrupts this stereotype. Like many women in her community, she started her adult life in marriage. Like many, she faced a heartbreak of divorce. And like many, she was left to rebuild. But instead of retreating, Jessi expanded. She took the skills she already had, hairstyling, beauty knowledge, and eye for aesthetics, and turned them into a platform. What could have been a quiet story of a single Mormon mother instead became the loud story of an entrepreneur who learned to monetize her talent, her image, and yes, her personal myth. This evolution is striking because it reflects a generational shift in Mormon culture itself. In Utah and beyond, Mormon women have become disproportionately visible in influencer culture. From mom talk to Instagram aesthetics, Mormon wives and mothers have turned domesticity into content, community into commerce, and faith into lifestyle branding. Jessi, then, is part of a much larger phenomenon, the rise of the Mormon influencer economy. Her hair care line is not just a business. It is an extension of this cultural wave, where Mormon women take elements of their lives, faith, family, beauty, and community, and transform them into powerful digital presences. Reality television has long been a breeding ground for entrepreneurs. From Bethany Frankel launching Skinny Girl on The Real Housewives to Kim Kardashian building schemes from her Keeping Up with the Kardashians fame, the pipeline is clear. Visibility leads to relatability. Relatability leads to profitability. Jessi's presence on Secret Lives of Mormon Wives fits neatly into this tradition. But what makes her case particularly interesting is that her entrepreneurial identity predated the show. She was not simply a woman handed fame and then scrambling to monetize it. She was a businesswoman first, and reality TV amplified what she had already built. That distinction matters. It means that when viewers saw Jessi curling her co-star's hair, promoting her Jay-Z Styles products, or trademarking Utah curls, they were witnessing a brand already in motion. The show didn't invent her business. It validated it. This kind of brand amplification is powerful because it creates a feedback loop. The business makes her more authentic as a TV personality, and the TV personality makes her more compelling as a businesswoman. The beauty industry has always thrived on aspiration. Glossy magazines once sold us the idea of perfection. Flawless skin, flawless hair, flawless lives. But in the influencer era, the equation has changed. Consumers don't just want aspiration. They want authenticity. They want to know the story behind the products, the struggle behind the brand, the human behind the logo. This is where Jessi's business shines. Every bottle of hair care product, every curling iron, every extension carries not just a function, but a story. The initials Jay-Z are not empty branding. They are connected to her son. The word Styles is not random. It reflects her unapologetic teenage fandom. The trademark Utah curls are not just a hairstyle. They are the mark of her lived experience.